Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hellish Brain Activity, episode 3, I believe now. I'm your one of your hosts, Emilio.
hmm
And here we have your other three hosts, Robert, who is unresponsive, and
What?
then we have your second, third, I can't count, third host, or hostess, Aaron.
I'm gay.
Yeah, and then your fourth and final hostess, Fiora.
I am the person being loved.
So true. And yeah, so today we'll be discussing Fiora's I don't know what to call it. The thing that she brought to share with us, which is a game called CrossCode by Radical Fish Games. Fiora, do you want to give like a summary of CrossCode to like introduce it or
Hmm. So to start off with, CrossCode is it's a 16-bit RPG sort of inspired by 90s sort of like the old let's say like early 90s action RPGs. Um, it has a really diverse and memorable cast, as well as perhaps some of the best ideas to ever be implemented into any RPG setting. There's been several critically acclaimed ideas from CrossCode that just if people want to just go into other games, and that's sort of the big reason why I'm just so happy to talk about it. Um, to me, the main thing that sort of gets CrossCode points is just how fluent its combat is. Its combat is absolutely fantastic because not only is the movement extremely sharp and responsive, but it, it's also very fast. Like, you never feel like you're in a position where you can't actually get out of something. And not only that, but there's ways to play aggressively, there's ways to play, and there's ways to play more defensively. You have a wide range of things that you can really do in CrossCode, and a wide range of ways that you can enjoy the game, especially if you play through it multiple times.
right? Okay, yeah, thanks. So yeah, so the segment that we ended up doing was the first three chapters of CrossCode, if I remember right, all the way from the intro to the entrance to Bergen Trail.
Yeah, can we get like a little summary on what happened?
Yeah, yeah. Shit, what happens? Okay, so like in the beginning, there's like this weird like cutscene. It's not even weird. It's just it's kind of disconnected from anything else that's happened in the game so
hmm
far. Um, and you're uh you are the main character if I remember right. You're Leia, and you're trying to fight your way through like a bunch of drones and shit to get to what I think is your brother. I'm not sure if I'm even recalling that correctly.
Uh, uh
You don't play as Leah in the opening cutscene. That's a whole
yeah,
ass different person.
That's a whole different
pretty
person.
sure
Okay.
you do play Shizuka.
Yeah, Shizuka.
Very important character for you to remember later, for the record.
Oh, damn. I
hmm
thought I was her the whole time. Whoops.
No, there's some interesting trivia to talk about of that. Um, so in speedruns for the game where glitches are allowed, players actually bring Shizuka out of the starting area because her stats are actually extremely high.
Oh.
So basically you can get to like, not only does she have a lot of the circuits filled, she also has like, because of those really high base stats, you can just go straight to what is basically the end game area with Shizuka. And what the game will also do is that because you're in the end game area, because of a feature that was implemented in early access, you are effectively allowed to update your save file to have everything else unlocked that you should have up until that point. So this basically allows you to have a really powerful character to take on the final dungeon with.
Huh. That
Yeah.
that's
And
fucking crazy.
that's
What the?
basically, yeah, I know it's some ACE type bullshit. Not gonna lie,
All right. So immediately when we finish this
very
game,
big secret break.
I am going to be watching speedruns as soon as we finish.
Yes,
Hmm.
speedruns to CrossCode are very, very enjoyable.
Yeah. And then so actually, you know, Aaron, you played the game like twice. Maybe you should summarize.
All right. Yeah, I'll summarize basically like the segment we played. So, we're introduced to Leah, the main character of the story, and she is, she is like a pretty like strong personality, but she's unable to talk. Besides like specific hard coded words, we have gotten 4 such words so far. Hi, no wait, just 3. Hi, Leah, and bye. So that's all she can say basically. But this is like this actually does affect like her abilities to communicate with people. So basically like she's being kind of like supervised by this dude Sergey, um, who is also the one who's giving her words in her vocabulary. Um, and he and some other people uh were like just training her on this ship, the MS Solar, until this blue guy just comes along. He's like, "Oh, I want to um take her away from here. She doesn't belong here." And
Yeah.
they're like, "What the hell?" So uh so after like you fight his crab boss and like the enemies that he summons to take you out, then you escape the ship MS Solar and you get into Crossworlds, which is an MMO, in game. So not an actual MMO, massively multiplayer online game, but like a fictional one. And basically like you are an avatar within the game. That's what Leah is. Um, and um, and she meets these other people, Emily and Apollo, and Apollo's friend Jordan. I think that's how you pronounce that. So Emily's like this um just this hot-headed like I'm gonna beat everyone up, rah. Oh, like also she's like friendly, like she's just being a pal. She's like she forms a party with you. And Apollo's like this mini mod dude who's just like, no, you're cheating. No, I gotta catch you because like you got experience from the crab boss, so you had more experience and should have been able to get at that point in the game. So
It's
he's like, oh, you're cheating.
it's so stupid. You're up by
Yeah.
like a level. It's so
No,
inconsequential.
he has a good point. To be fair,
What?
like I how like like it's not unbalanced, but it's suspicious.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, Apollo is like he's a member of the same MMO, the same Crossworlds class as you, the Spheromancer. So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be your rival now. I'm gonna go fight you." Um, so that was the end of the segment. And basically, you venture through this area, Autumn's Rise, with Emily, which is basically like this autumn-themed area, a bunch of like orange trees. You're fighting these hedgehog enemies. Um, yeah,
Hold
just
on,
like
shouldn't we talk about Rookie Harbour first?
I skipped over, yeah, Rookie Harbor for the most part because not a lot happens there. Oh yeah,
Yeah, not a
you
lot
also
happens in
meet
Rookie Harbor.
Emily's friend Lucas, who shows you around Rookie Harbor. Like basically, like there's just your standard areas, the quest area, um, a bunch of like headquarters, shops. Yeah, not a lot is happening story wise in Rookie Harbor. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only thing like some maybe story-wise that happens in Rookie Harbor is that there is like one guy you get a quest from, and then when you complete the quest, the the scientist watcher dude, I forgot his name. What's his name?
Who?
The guy who's like monitoring you, the tutorial man.
Oh, Sergey.
Yeah, Sergey. Um, so yeah, and then he's like, huh, that guy had like a bunch of gear from different classes. That's weird. And that's like the
Oh
first
yeah,
time
that's
you see that guy outside of like a storyline thing in
hmm
a quest. So that's what I'm saying. It might be story related. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a fairly high level
Mm.
quest when you get to it, because it's a level 15 quest, I think,
Mhm.
and you get it in Rookie
Oh,
Harbor,
that one.
where everything else is like level 6 to 13.
Mhm.
If I remember, a that is an interesting side quest line. There's like one in each major area.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I'll be keeping an eye out for that guy then.
Yeah. All
But
right.
yeah, yeah. Then at the end of Autumn's Rise, the first area, you get to the second area, Bergen Trail, and we haven't really explored that area yet. But
Yeah.
you fight that dude Apollo, and it's like a PvP.
And you own him.
Yeah, ideally.
He challenges you to a first to 5, and he gets owned
hmm
because he has no HP.
Yeah, no HP, no hose, seemingly infinite SP though.
Yeah, that guy fires off his fucking special moves like a bitch.
hmm
All right. So yeah, that was a good summary of like what we've done so far. There's like a lot of side quests and stuff in that chunk that you can do. Like that's why I have 8.5 hours of playtime, despite only being in like the first area and a half, really. Um, because yeah, there was a lot of side quests to do, and then I also just wanted to get like as good gear as I could in the moment. So I went like grinding for a bit so I could get shit. Um, but yeah, so I think the first thing I want to say
I
about
have to mention.
oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
have to mention a lot of my playtime in the early hours in both of my playthroughs has been working through Autumn's Rise because there are a ton of cool puzzles for you to mess with. Like, and I have to mention one thing that they do like to push in your face in Autumn's Rise, and that is the absolutely amazing combo system. Seriously, that combo system is what makes grinding fun in this game. The single most enjoyable thing is running around like a complete demon in S rank and just rushing every enemy you see almost flawlessly.
Oh yeah, no, that's so fun. Like there was definitely some times where I would just run through and kill everything because I wanted to do that. Because like I don't know if it's
And
like a damage boost you get or what, but it seems like you either crit everything
uh,
in S rank or you just for other reasons do a shit ton of damage.
it's an item boost, I think.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, I felt like every so often I would just randomly hit for like 160 and I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Okay, so this thing just fucking exploded. Uh, but yeah, so like
Yeah, combos are hella fun.
I feel like whenever I'm playing CrossCode, like in each area, like there's at least one point when I'm like strong enough to take on all the enemies that I just go on a total rampage for like 10 minutes in S rank and just beat everyone up.
yeah, yeah, I tend to do the same thing. Um, but like, okay, good. Fiore's back. So like, while we're on the topic of combat, since we're like already talking about it, and I don't really care about talking about things in order. Um, so the way I've been doing melee right now is that I will just like do the, I guess like default or standard combo or whatever you'd want to call it, and then I'll
hmm
cancel the final attack, which is like the double hit spin that you do, into a dash, and then keep doing that, or I'll cancel it into a special. Is that what good combat actually looks like in this game right now? Or am I doing something wrong?
I couldn't tell you because Fiora isn't in the call.
Oh my God, where'd she go?
She's
Bad because I
disappearing.
don't do it.
Well, you should probably start doing it. I was able to tack on like 600 on one of the boars.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. Why are you lying?
The boars? You mean the cow guys?
Yeah, the cow guys.
Boars are pigs.
Yeah, whatever. I really don't care.
But yeah, that's very much what I do too. The game tells you about dash canceling in the info building, which you decided to not look at.
Because I'm a gamer, I don't need the info building. I figured that shit out myself. They gave me the dash mechanic, and I was like, okay, how do I abuse this immediately? Oh, 3 in a row, I bet. What's the cooldown? Oh, literally like a frame? Awesome. I know what my movement looks like now. Oh, I have an attack. I wonder if I can dash out of it. Oh, I can. I know what combat looks like now. I don't need the info building.
Yeah, we're talking about dash canceling.
It is beneath me.
You don't know
Yeah, I
about
do
this.
like how the combat is very intuitive.
You know about the super dash though.
Okay, okay, fine. What's the super dash?
Okay, fine. I'll tell you about the super dash. So, you know how there are like dash arts, and you can like dash like pretty far with them.
Okay.
So, the super dash is not a combat thing. It is an environmental movement thing. If you jump at and do a dash art at the right time, you're able to get a much further jump than you would normally get.
So it's just doing a dash art off of a ledge.
Yeah, but the timing's very tight
How is the timing tight?
because if you try to do it midair, then you get the super shield, I think. And if you do it too early, then you don't get any height and you just fall down.
Oh, okay. I see. I see. That's very interesting. I have no dash arts right now. My circuit is like I have the melee art, and then I have assault, which is the like circuit behind it, and then I
Hmm.
have the 12% attack boost, or no, the 6% attack boost, the 12% throw art boost, and then I have the steel ball throw art. And then
Hmm.
just last night I invested into the HP art so I could get the 50% regen because
Hmm.
literally last night as well I also changed all my gear so I could have like a regen build and just not care about getting hit
Hmm.
because yeah like on I guess on the topic fucking Fiora, why does shielding suck? Why does it feel like shielding is bad?
I think that one is more just that it's a slow move in a fast-paced game.
Yeah,
That's really all it is. Because shielding, you will find in the next podcast that we do, shielding is pretty useful for one specific challenge.
okay, I see. Yeah, for like for context for listeners and stuff, fucking. So the way that shielding works in this game is that you can only do it when you're not moving, and it only shields in one direction. So you're stationary while you're shielding. You're allowed to like aim your shooter while you're shielding, which is pretty nice. It's like extremely slow, but I guess you could optimize it to just aim first and then shield. So if
Hmm.
you're fighting like a
Yeah,
projectile
that's
enemy,
usually the preference.
like when you're fighting the hill cats, which are projectile enemies that will set you on fire sometimes, you can like shield that, not really have to worry about the damage from it, and then also shoot at them. Because once you're aimed, you can just repeatedly like rapid fire, and you don't have to re-aim unless you change where you're aiming too quickly and too drastically. Um,
Yeah, but then you can also just like use the extremely generous dashes that they have.
Right, yeah, and that's the main problem with shielding is that it's tied to the dash button, and the dashes are really good in this game. They go pretty far. You can do three in a row before you have to wait a little bit, but the time you have to wait to do another three is extremely minuscule. It's
They also
like,
give invulnerability.
oh yeah, and they're also invincible too, so it's like whenever I'm fighting, it never feels like it's a good idea to shield because I'm just gonna dash away anyway.
I was using shield a
The
lot,
shield doesn't
and
even completely block damage in a lot of cases.
Yeah, it only blocks some of it.
so fun fact. For Sonic's Phase Two, you can't shield an either hit of his two attacks. Like they just go right through it.
Wow, you know what? I never had to worry about that, and I didn't know that because I didn't shield.
You can block the Phase One dash attack, but you can't block the bouncy one.
Oh, okay, I see.
But in Phase Two, you can't even block the dash.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so for I get more context, the common enemies you encounter in like the first area are cow dudes, hill cats, which I don't know what animal they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think like lemurs probably. And they throw shit at you. They're your like
No, they're
starter.
meerkats.
Oh, that makes way more sense. But yeah, they throw shit at you. They're your like intro projectile enemy, and then you have uh hedgehogs, which are just hedgehogs but dangerous. There are two variants of both of those, or each one has a variant. I just don't remember what the cow variant is called, and I don't really know what's different about it.
I believe there are actually three variants to the
Oh,
hedgehog.
Well, if you're counting the boss, I guess I wouldn't count the boss.
Uh,
Um, but yes,
wait, sorry, that's spoilers.
there's a there's the fiery Hillcats, which are the ones that set you on fire, which are a bitch to fight, by the way. I don't like those guys because
Well, they
I
don't instantly set you on fire. They just give you uh they charge a bit of like a fire status.
yeah, yeah, it's just the reason that they're annoying for me is that like with the regular Hillcats, their projectiles are brown, so I'm usually able to see them like before they are coming at me and then dash away. But the Hillcats ones are red, and it kind of blends into the background. So a lot of time I'll get hit by it, and I just wasn't aware that the Hillcat was charging, because I'm damaging it, and I didn't see the projectile.
Mhm.
Yeah, but there's just an area like in the first, like it's very early in Autumn's Rise, where there's a blue hedgehog, and we have all been just calling him Sonic, because that's what he is. He drops chili dogs and a golden ring,
Yes.
so he's
Yes.
Sonic. He is Sonic.
That is an intentional reference.
Yes, I know it's intentional. I'm just like choosing to only call him Sonic rather than what he's actually called in game. So how did you guys like first encounter that fight?
I mean, how did we encounter
Like, what were you doing? Did you get owned, or did you own him?
it? I got owned a few times.
Damn, this is tragic. What
'Cause
about?
I had to learn that you have to dash right before he lands.
Yeah, yeah. The fucking attacks on that guy are weird because he doesn't really attack like any of the other hedgehogs or anything. What about our resident CrossCode experts? How was your first time of finding the Sonic guy?
I died once because I threw and I wanted to not have Emily in the party, but she insists on being in the party. And then I realized like I had to do it with Emily, and so yeah, then I was able to beat him pretty easily.
Yeah, that's kind of how it went for me, where I just was roaming around and I was not expecting a boss fight. I was like level 5 or something, so he owned me extremely hard. I was doing no damage to that guy. I did nothing. And then I left it alone until I was done with the area. Like it wasn't until after I fought Apollo that I went back and fought Sonic. And I even brought Emily with me. So he was owned at that time. Yeah, there are a lot of, at least so far, there have been like a surprising number of references to other RPG stuff.
Hmm.
Like the main chest piece armor I was using is literally just called like Assault Vest, which is just an item from Pokemon, and it's not even like a common item. I wouldn't expect a casual fan of Pokemon to know what the fuck an Assault Vest is or does, because you can only get it in like the battle tower areas that require BP. And
Did
so
you see
like
the Did you see the place with the Pokemon Center machine?
yeah, yeah, I saw that too. Like I saw the fucking Pokemon Center machine. I was like, this is cool that that's referenced in this.
Yeah.
And then
I have
yeah,
a BH reference.
the assault vest too, it even is like it's implemented in a way that is kind of reminiscent of what it does in Pokemon. It's not just the name, because it weakens your ability to aim with your throw arts. And so that's it like not letting you really use status moves and stuff. Like
Yeah, and
it's
then
not it's not the same, but it's kind of similar.
you want to combine it with two Daikons, so you get regen. So it's regen vest.
Shut up.
I would do that for the meme, but I really don't like having the scope weakness. Which I guess we haven't explained that yet. So yeah, the game has, as part of its like combat system and skill system, I guess, with armor and stuff, you have these like different modifiers that are stats that don't have numbers but like have certain attributes. So scope is like how quickly you aim with your shooter, and then there's like a fucking ton of them. There's HP regen, which is pretty self-explanatory. There's pin body, which damages enemies when you shield their attacks. There's bullseye, which I think does more damage when you get a crit. And yeah, those are just some examples. I don't even remember how to describe the other ones. So yeah, the assault vest like will lower your scope. And then there's like another item that you get that's just called like a master ball, and the description is like this is said to have been used to catch legendary beasts. And I thought that was really cute.
Hmm.
Um oh yeah, so okay, so when I started playing like the first thing that hit me was I really like the title music. Like the soundtrack as a whole has been extremely good so far.
Mhm.
It kind of reminds me of
It
well,
gets better.
yeah, I'm sure it will get better. It kind of reminds me of Pokemon. But I think that might just be a symptom of like I don't really play RPGs all that much, and so Pokemon is kind of the only RPG series I've really played. So maybe this is just what RPG music is like, and I'm like that Boss Baby tweet, and I'm just experiencing my second RPG and being like, holy shit, it's similar.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I haven't played too many RPGs.
yeah, that's fair. How about you, Robert? You played more RPGs than we have, I'm pretty sure.
Definitely felt like MMORPG music.
Okay,
Yeah, fair.
that's
Hmm.
fair. I
Actually, no, no. This isn't RuneScape music. This isn't the fucking uh the pirate music, whatever. Sea shanty.
If we're talking about RuneScape music, then I would happen to be the expert on that.
Okay, nerd.
Okay, Fiora, what does the music in this game remind you of? Because I was just saying how when I heard the title screen music, the title screen music specifically gave me the vibe of like Studio Ghibli. I don't really know why, but that's how what it reminded me of. And then like the environmental music in Autumn's Rise and Ricky Harbor, it reminded me of Pokemon.
I have to admit, Autumn's Rise definitely does sound like Pokemon Root, but I don't think that's really what's happening. Really, what I think whenever I think of CrossCode music. Because whenever I think of CrossCode music myself, I always keep on thinking about how CrossCode music has developed over the years. For the record, there's three different title screens music that has been made over the years. There's
Oh,
one from 2013, which sounds way different. There's one from 2015 that has an almost entirely different sound font to the one from the full release, and then there's the one in the full release. The full release doesn't really remind me of anything in particular,
Mhm.
but I have to admit that 2013 tech demo music definitely gives me a lot more harsher vibes than the game actually gave itself.
right. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they would change it then if that's the case, because this is like, I mean, we've only played the beginning, but it definitely doesn't seem like a dark game in any capacity.
Hmm. It's not super dark, I have to admit.
Well, I
It,
mean,
it does get quite emotional at some points.
yeah, no, I was gonna say it's like it is an RPG, like it's going to get darker at some point. It'd be weird if it didn't, but even I imagine even then it's like this music probably fits the vibe of the game better.
Oh, no. There's like a total switch in the next part. Emily dies.
Oh man, why would you? You know what? I should have known. She is French.
Very true.
The French always perish. They are doomed to never succeed. When she heals, she
She's
literally
lying, by
eats
the
like a
way.
croissant, right?
Yeah.
Yes, this game does end up getting very stereotypical sometimes. I believe Lucas also has his own food. This is very German as well.
That's hilarious. But yeah, I've been really enjoying the music, the soundtrack so far. I would be surprised if there's any track in the game that I would say I dislike. I mean, I guess that's usually true for game music for me personally, but you know.
I have to admit, from the themes that I've heard, that you would have heard up until this point, my favourite one is probably Leah's main theme.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure I know which one that is.
It's right after the dream sequence.
Okay, I you have to realize that I played the dream I saw the dream sequence like 4 hours of play ago. So let me see. I'm looking at my notes real quick. Yeah, like I don't know if you missed it. Maybe you missed it and we're cutting out when I said it, Fiora. But yeah, the first thing I did was play around
Hmm.
with the projectile. I gotta say, I do appreciate the aiming system. Damn, we're talking a lot about combat, but the combat's so good. Uh,
Plus, there isn't really a story yet.
oh yeah, there also isn't really a story yet. Like we can get to the very small story bits we have later, but there isn't really much of a story going on. Like, I guess to touch on it a bit, the only things we know is that we are an amnesiac and our speech module in the game doesn't work properly, so we only have 3 words, and we have horns, and we really don't like that we have horns and that people keep bringing it up. That's all story relevant.
And we have some friends, and
Oh
they're
yeah,
nice to us.
We have
the
a
horns
friend.
always remain story relevant.
We have a friend that is nice to us.
Sergey's kind of nice to us.
Is he a friend though?
And, Emma, Carla, and the other MS Solar people.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
They
Yeah,
have our
but you
best
never
interest in
get to
mind.
see those guys after you leave the MS Solar.
Oh, they are
Yeah,
not friends.
yeah, they just aren't in the game anymore.
Damn. I was hoping I could go back to the ship. That captain dude was cool.
You can go back to the ship for the record.
But you don't see them?
No, they're gone.
Are they dead? They are dead. I can't believe this. Anyway, aiming system. I like that the charge gets it's like fast if you want to spam it. Like after you charge it once, you can kind of just rapid fire the charge shot, which is pretty cool. Because like the initial charge usually takes a while, and it would be so lame if it always did that.
Hmm. Yeah, ranged attacks just wouldn't be very good for damage or anything.
Yeah. Which reminds me, like, I mentioned this when we were on call last night, but like sometimes when I'm playing and I'm like playing primarily ranged, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, maybe if I want to do combat optimally, I should go grab my auto clicker. Just be like, charge up to aim, shoot, enable auto clicker, instant death. Because yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a limit to how fast you can shoot. I don't know if there
There's a
is.
limit. I've
Oh,
hit it.
okay. You've hit it? Jesus Christ.
It's not that high.
How the fuck are you shooting that fast?
It really isn't that high.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I haven't hit it, and I thought I was clicking pretty fast.
Well, maybe you should click faster.
Maybe, maybe. Um, so
I
yeah.
think Harry is spreading more misinformation personally.
Oh, damn. She would do that.
I am ruining her fun.
Oh, my, m- m- my, my schemes, my plots. No.
Unfortunate. Let me see. I guess I'll just go through my notes like from the beginning of the game. I put here that dead brother and amnesia feels familiar, but I don't really know what I meant by that.
Dead brother?
Well, it's because
Oh,
this
oh,
is
that
when
guy.
this is when I was assuming that Leia was the same as the initial character. Like I thought that was just the same person, so that's why I put that. And then there's a really funny
You're
line.
half true in that regard.
Am I the brother? I'm the brother, aren't I? I'm predicting. Well, okay, so one of my thoughts about the story when I thought that I was still like the same person as the person we play in the beginning, I thought my initial prediction was just that the brother was not dead. Like I don't trust an intro death. I really don't, especially into memory loss. It's like that motherfucker has got to still be alive. Now I'm less sure because we're not the same person, but like still, I'm a little skeptical. Robert says that he thought Leia was just Shizuka's avatar. Yep, that's what I had assumed.
No, they're unrelated.
Leia equals Shizuka with blue hair and pronouns. Very true.
Oh no, stop lying like this.
There's a really funny line in like the beginning where someone says, "Nice avatar, you're so cute," and Leia's like blushing and happy about that, and then the same person is just like, "It's a shame you're probably hideous in reality." It's just
And then she's like, hmm?
it's so fucking funny and on the nose because it's like yeah, like the entirety of what we're playing is set like in a real world MMO, which I don't think we went into explaining how the game explains that. I don't remember
Oh
how the game
yeah, I
explains
should
that.
probably take the wheel on this one.
Yeah.
So basically, This is 1,000 years after after the last major war that happened, and like society has colonized several planets within the solar system now. In fact, I believe they've gone even further than that. On one of these planets lies the MMO of Crossworlds. So, but in order to make the MMO actually feasible, they have this very lightish matter that is what most things are made of in this universe. So it, sorry, in this MMO. So this also allows for some things like instant transmission, and
Holy shit.
basically explains a lot of game mechanics that would usually be within an MMO.
Instant transmission? Is that a Dragon Ball reference?
Shut the fuck up.
My bad. He's not happy about that.
Why am I on this podcast?
What do you mean?
Why did I sign up for this?
What do you mean? Honestly, it is hurtful that you would say that. And you were saying,
Yeah, so um, there's several instances later in the game in which this world will be explained in further detail. In fact, I believe there is a set of logs that are like a collectible that you can go through
Yeah, I found one in the
to
bookshelf.
find, yeah, to find more secrets behind that lore. And
awesome.
the law of the world before Crossworlds became huge.
Yeah,
Nice.
I saw this one log that was like this horribly wounded army officer who's like missing both of his legs and talking about like how the ancients were really close and he felt like he was losing it. And then one of the ancients like stabbed him right through the heart. It was so crazy.
I don't know whether to believe you. Fiora, can you
The
verify?
ancients are real. I don't think the betrayal is.
No, this log is in a very obscure place. Like it's in like this bookshelf behind this other bookshelf.
Huh.
Which log number was that? 14,
Zero,
I think.
yeah, 025 actually.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. That is crazy then. Sorry,
I
I
made all
just
that up.
yeah.
Oh, I have to mention. Did you notice that there were 3 particular NPCs in Rookie Harbor?
Uh
They all have names of Xenoblade Warner characters.
I did not notice that.
That's right, motherfuckers. I'm here to talk to you about Xenoblade. This is all a hoax.
There wouldn't happen to be a Fiora in the game, would there?
Don't think there is.
I
Thank
only
goodness.
It's
The
been a
only
while
weird
since I looked.
NPC I took note of was like the one that looks like a fucking cartoon character when you get to the harbor.
Goldengo.
Yeah, he looks like Gothingo. I didn't even realize that. But yeah,
Fucking-
that guy was weird. I was just like, what is this about? But that's the only NPC I paid like special attention to because everyone else seemed remarkably normal after that. Oh yeah, and then like on the fucking ship, there's that weird like blue dude who left like the mainland of Crossworlds and was like hunting us for some reason.
What do you think his deal is?
I think I think he's a LARPer and he's in his head way too up his own
Hmm.
ass and LARPing. That's my
He,
current
he,
theory.
he is very much a laugher. I will have to say
It's a
that.
schizo.
He's a massive laugher.
Yeah, you're actually like very on the nose on that. Though there obviously is like a lot more to him.
Right. I would expect that there is, but like definitely LARPer vibes. Especially because like I feel like there would be no way we didn't encounter at least a few characters that were like super into LARPing and stuff because this is very much a world where that's like extremely easy and accessible to do.
Yeah, absolutely. People are literally physically immersed in the game. Like they can like
Yeah.
feel the heat and the cold
It's like
physically.
it's like an SAO abridged where there are a bunch of people who are just like LARPing because it's like, well, they're
Oh,
just kind of stuck in the game. Like that is their life. and anything they LARP, they can kind of just do like in a way that feels real to them. So why wouldn't there be those kinds of people? And it's like same deal here. But yeah, that's what I think his deal is. I imagine like the thing that there's or the further like backstory to him has something to do with like it has to do with our missing memory. Like there's just no fucking
Mm-hmm.
way that it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I was still running with the theory that Shizuka and Leia were the same person, then I would say that like actually never mind. Even if I do assume that, I have no ideas. What do you well, I guess you and damn, this is hard because you you and Fiora have played the game before.
Mm-hmm.
I guess on your first playthrough, what did you think his deal was?
I didn't really look into it. He's just like, "Oh, I'm a bad guy. I'm gonna be a bad guy," and I took that at face value pretty much. I
Oh,
thought he was cool. He looked cool.
I didn't even bother about him until he appeared later in the game, basically.
oh.
I saw
You're
this guy
spreading
once and I was
misinformation. He
like,
doesn't show up again.
I don't think we can. I don't know.
fuck, you
I don't
got
think we
me.
can trust anything either of you say now.
For the record, I am not lying. I am just playing into a stupid joke.
That is what a liar would say.
Ah,
No, no, I'm technically correct. The next time you see him, he's orange.
Okay. Robert unfortunately has to go. We
Robert, say one last thing.
yeah.
say the baseball emoji.
Baseball emoji.
Damn
Yes!
it.
Yes!
All right, we will be continuing unfortunately without Robert, but he will be going. Yeah, we he got a new job recently, so we're going to be restructuring our schedule so everyone's able to make it and be there the whole time.
He's getting paid.
Yeah, he is getting paid. I'm not getting paid. I don't have a job over the summer. I work one of those kinds
Mm-hmm.
of jobs. It's really stressing
Mm-hmm.
me
I have
out.
still failed to get jobs for a good while now. So mad.
Okay, to be fair, you like weren't exactly doing much of anything for a bit for other reasons, so it's forgivable.
Okay, that's only been this like past 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that was the last time I remember you talking about it. A few weeks ago.
Yeah, I will give you that one.
You don't have much of a choice.
Hmm.
Let me see. And I did say that yeah, I guess I'll just continue on the line of like story stuff. Fucking yeah, you get like a weird dream sequence at the end of the first three chapters you after you fight Apollo, and
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't remember enough of the dream sequence to know what the fuck I thought of it at the time. And let me see. I don't think I put anything here. Yeah, I didn't really put anything about it. I just put that it was a weird dream sequence. And yeah.
Yeah.
The dream sequences don't make too much sense at first.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
end up making a lot more sense once you get later into the game, particularly after a certain point in the story. It happens
Absolutely.
about 60% of the way through.
Okay. So
Yeah.
not for quite a while then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you find out that there is no cross worlds, and Leah's literally just dreaming it.
She's half correct.
I don't want to know
I
that.
want to I want to drop in something that's just totally correct. Um,
And then I'll
because I
just
know
say
you won't
it's
believe
wrong as
it.
hell.
Yeah, that would be exactly what I would do. And you know what? If we had an audience, my counter threat would be that someone who has played the game would just tell me that that's correct.
No, they wouldn't. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, Aaron said this, which is correct. Yeah, that actually happens." Why would you comment that, dumbass? Why would you say that?
Because you hate fun? There's a lot of reasons why someone might.
Well, they could spoil it anyway if they wanted to. If they want you to have no fun.
That's my point.
God, I sound like such a wreck right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe. But yeah, so I do remember getting the feeling that whatever I saw in the dream sequence made me more sure that the brother dude that we see die isn't dead. But that's all I really remember about the dream sequence. Cause yeah, just not a lot of story going on in this.
No, no, yeah. He is dead, but he has a twin brother who's alive, who's like smarter than him.
I really hope that's not true, just because I've definitely seen that done before, and that'd be so lame.
Brother also dies.
Hmm.
I've definitely seen that before too. Um, then yeah, I guess still like on story stuff. I There is like a few landmarks that we get to see. I guess the main one is just the fucking observatory where there's like someone who I think was a princess that says a few inconsequential lines and then like
Oh yeah, Code Knight.
disappears and she's just gone and I was like, okay, that was certainly an NPC interaction I had. I think the way that the game like treats NPCs is kind of funny, honestly.
How so?
Cause it's like every player is just like talking about the NPCs and stuff, and it's like it seems pretty evident to me at least that NPCs are fairly advanced in terms of like what their AI is and stuff, but they also like don't give a single shit or maybe even notice what like other people say about them. Like when I first went into the info building, there's a character that is almost definitely supposed to be a reference to Chun-Li
Hmm.
and she teaches you about like melee combat and shit. And then there's two other NPCs. Well, like they're NPCs to us, but not in the game world. So two other people, I guess, sitting there talking, and the conversation is one guy being in disbelief that the other guy thinks that the Chun-Li inspired character is like best girl in the game or whatever. And then they start talking about like this whole backstory and shit. And then the other guy is like, wow, she did all of that, and now all she does is punch a punching bag. That's crazy. And it's like the NPC does not register that. And I think that's just kind of funny. Like there's a lot of commentary from other characters about the NPCs, and it's like I've never seen that before. Then
Yeah, it CrossCode isn't just like CrossCode references stuff, but not just to reference the things themselves, but also reference like how communities develop around things.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna how do I say this? I'm gonna put faith in that being true, because so far I feel like the only thing I've seen that with is the NPCs specifically, because like
Hmm.
no one comments on the Sonic boss existing or the Pokemon inspired items and stuff. So, but I assume we see like more of that later down the
Hmm.
line.
Hmm.
Um, oh, something I forgot to comment about in regards to combat earlier was that I wish there was a way for you to like lock on to an enemy while you were charging, because it feels a little unwieldy, at least to me right now.
Aim the mouse, aim.
I'm doing that. I mean, like I'll aim and then I want to dash away, but the dash like changes my entire perspective on the screen, so then I have to re-aim.
Yeah, yeah. Get good, get good.
Okay, I'm just saying it'd be nice if there was like once it's charged, you have a lock on or whatever, because that is, I guess that's kind of what I
Well,
expect.
technically, it slightly uncharges after you dash, so that wouldn't work in that case either. There is a small window of about 3 to 4 frames where that wouldn't work,
I see.
and
Damn.
it's slightly uncharged. It's slightly away from being fully charged. There is a very small fan.
I see. I see. Another combat thing was that
Mm,
I I like vastly prefer melee combat at the moment. But I feel like it's probably
yeah,
just I feel like that's one, it just feels more interactive. But then the second thing is that in Autumn's Rise, you have a lot of enemies that like don't take all that much from your projectiles anyway. It's like the Hillcats are the primary enemy where they feel extraordinarily useful. But yeah, it's like melee combat feels flashier. It feels like it does more damage. I haven't really paid enough attention to the numbers to know for sure whether or not I'm doing more damage
it
with it.
does do a lot more damage for the record. Like
Okay,
it's like 3 to 4 times more.
yeah, Jesus. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's doing more damage. It looks flashier, and because of how good it feels to dash in this game, is like I it just is more fun to hit a thing and then dash through it and then just keep hitting it and then do that until everything dies.
Hmm.
Compared to like staying kind of far away and shooting at stuff, which like don't get me wrong, I will do sometimes because it's like I don't want to deal with actually engaging with that enemy at the moment Or like if I'm running through the area and I want to maintain my rank, but there's like no other enemies in that area, I'll like run away for a bit and then shoot it and then transition to the next screen so I have more time. But
Hmm.
yeah, melee combat feels way more fun.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
under
also think a lot of the energy behind melee combat is the the knockback that you get from some of the attacks.
Mhm,
It just feels way more impactful.
Yeah. And then I like the circuit system, which for again anyone who wouldn't know, the
mhm,
fucking you have your skill tree and they just call it circuits and
mhm,
that's literally all it is. It is just a skill tree. But the thing I appreciate about it is that you can go down with like certain branches and you're only able to choose a branch at a time when the path does branch, but at any moment you can swap what branch you're using, which feels like kind of an insane amount of customization to allow uh your player to have when it comes to something like that. Because like I guess what I'm used to is that if you want to do something like that, it's like tied to a resource. It's like, oh, you want to
mhm,
swap to this set of skills and when you made this choice earlier, okay, well, you have to go get this item or you have to go talk to this NPC and it's going to cost you this much to do that. And the fact that you're able to just do it at like pretty much any time, unless you're like literally in combat at that moment, is really, really cool because like the wide variety of modifiers and um like equipment that will affect those modifiers combined with the fact that you're able to just switch means that if you ever go down a certain branch because that's what fits your equipment at that moment, if you like
mhm.
change that later, you can just switch to like different arts and different parts of the circuit to use instead. And I think that's like the best idea I've seen in the game in regards to like RPG mechanics so far.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people are a really big fan of the circuit system
yeah,
for that reason. I particularly like how certain parts of it are locked off by the temples, but like things that you get by unlocking those,
Mhm.
right.
they 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 you also unlock another branch, so you get even more customizability that way.
Yeah,
So you often end up with several different setups.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's what the blue scale whatever thing is when you're in circuit that blocks off the further ones.
Yeah, the blue scale is the Bergen Trail dungeon.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. Because that is the next area.
I believe the sigils are tied to elements, which also have their own skill tree, which is another great thing because it means that you effectively have four different skill trees active at once.
That's
Mhm.
pretty sick.
5 actually.
Jeez.
Well,
Okay,
eventually.
the main one is like it's kind of like the permanently active skill
Mhm.
tree,
That's
so
fair.
it sort of like embeds into the other four.
The thing is, eventually you just get like way too many circuit points. And you just fill out every circuit, and there isn't really like much to do, I guess. Like I would
Oh,
say that I would say that like once you have like all the arts, then it becomes a little less interesting.
I guess that's fair. That does
Mm.
remind me of like the one criticism I do have of the circuits so far though.
Mhm.
If you're gonna allow that much accessibility and like adaptability to the system, why the fuck does it cost 15K to reset the whole thing? What the fuck?
Cry about it. Cry about it.
That is
To be
insane.
clear, 15k isn't too bad when you get into the later parts of the game, so I guess it's penalty for trying to make you consider things.
Well, in the later parts of the
Like,
game,
it,
you
it
don't
makes you
need to
consider
reset
your.
stuff because you just go get things.
Yeah. It's like
I guess that makes sense. Then.
it's weird to me
It
that
might
it would
be.
be that expensive when it's like you just said, oh, it maybe is something to incentivize you to like be kind of thoughtful about how you're using the points and stuff, which is like not a bad thing inherently. like that is something that is reasonable for you to have like in the game and kind of makes sense. But it is in like direct conflict with the things I was just complimenting about the circuit system, which is why it annoys me so much. Because it's like I guess like for sure make it have a cost. It probably shouldn't be free to do that. I personally would like it if it was free because it's like if they're already going to allow you that degree of freedom, then might as well take it all the way. But if you're not going to have it be free, that's fine. But like if Aaron's right or just telling the truth rather, and it's like that's an inconsequential amount of money in the late game, but you just get the points in the late game anyway, then it's really only a punishment in early to mid game. And at
Hmm.
least to me right now, it feels like a good amount of money. I don't think I've even like had more than 15K at one time
Hmm.
at this point. And
Plus
granted,
the items to trade that I don't think you have access to yet.
yeah, and you need the items too. So it's like it's just it feels inconsistent that that's like how they chose to handle that when when you look at how they chose to handle the rest of what is um the rest of the circuit system. Like it just feels like a very strange choice.
Hmm.
And then let me see. I'm trying to think of more combat shit. Oh no, I mean I think in regards to combat, I can't think of anything else I had to say about it. I mean, like I said, it's been super fun. I prefer
Hmm.
melee at the moment, and circuits are super cool, except for that thing where it's really expensive to reset the board for some reason.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think the I,
I think
what?
she just said, tried to say that and just disappeared.
Oh no. Okay, I will wait for her to return. She has
She's
returned.
returned. She's typing.
Oh no, she's typing.
What will she say?
You may never know. I guess we found out.
yeah, I need ranged combat gets a lot better when you get the elements.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask why like I don't need an exact like number or whatever, but more so a general sense of when that happens because I was really interested in it when I saw it in the menu, but now it's like,
Uh,
oh, I don't have access to that yet.
that happens midway through the Bergen Trail dungeon.
Oh, okay, so pretty soon then.
You will
Hmm.
get your first element there. Hmm.
Awesome. Story-wise, I'm looking at my notes right now. I put here that I think, well, I think this for two reasons. One was NPC dialogue, and was, uh, and two was just because you like it so much, Fiora, that I'm predicting that AI is going to be relevant to the story somehow later.
No,
Um,
there's no AI in the story. Like besides the vanilla stuff that you see.
okay, damn. Yeah, I don't even remember what NPC dialogue specifically made me think that. But yeah, there was something about it where I was like, oh, maybe this is gonna come back
Yeah,
later.
they mentioned the Turing test after the Rhombus dungeon.
Oh yeah, they that's what it was. The fact that they said specifically Turing test, I was like, oh, surely this is gonna be important later.
That's a one-off thing.
That's kind of whack. They led me on. I'm kidding. I guess it just means the writers are smarter than I expected. Because I generally wouldn't expect someone to bring up something like the Turing test unless it was supposed to be relevant to something in the story,
They're just nerds.
whether it's a message about computers or AI or whatever it may be.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then that's kind of it for my notes actually. We talked about combat like immediately off the bat, and that's what a lot of my notes and stuff were on.
Hmm.
Viewer left.
She's gone. I can't
She's
believe this.
gone.
She's gone. She's gone.
I will say I think it's very funny how everything so I guess in regards to like the things that we're doing, the things we're talking about, the first two we did are like the sad ones kind of.
Hmm.
And then like so far CrossCode has just been like fun and kind of goofy. and then the first 6 chapters of HPMOR are intended to be mostly that too. I think it's funny how that ended up working out.
Yeah.
What? She said that.
She said what? Yeah, range combat gets a lot better when you get the elements. Okay. But yeah, I'm also gonna ask you, what do you think about the music in Lisa? I don't think we remembered to talk about that last time.
I think that uh
You feel that FL Studio core?
yeah, as a former FL Studio user, it is when you said it's like someone opened up FL Studio and then only used like the default sounds that are in it, you were extremely correct. Like they were some sounds that I actually just recognized from when I used FL Studio because I stopped using it uh around like 2018 or so, 2017 maybe. And
Uh-huh.
like that thing was not up. The default sounds were not updated very much between 2014 and that time from what I had read.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about the music in Lisa.
Because I had mentioned that I think it's funny how Lisa and Garden of Words, the first two things we did, are like all gloomy and melancholic, but then this segment of CrossCode has just been like fun and bright and kind of goofy, and that's what I intended the first 6 chapters of HPMOR to be like as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of funny that happened. So things worked out.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's weird because, like, if I look at the range of media that I know that I would maybe recommend, maybe consider recommending for podcasts in general if we ever finish Lisa or whatever, like, not many of them are, like, cheerful. I will say that.
You should see a therapist. I'm sorry. That was
A
uncalled for.
therapist should see me.
That's same thing. Same thing, Aaron.
No, it's the other way around. Like, they're coming to me for a consultation.
They would not they would come to study you. When I have to write my
They better
dissertation,
fucking study me.
when I have to write my dissertation, it's gonna be on you, most likely.
You gotta post the fucking uh city posting assorted tweets 2021 to 2023.
No, actually, that's exactly what I was thinking. That like the angle where it's an analysis of your person coming through city posting and like trying to critically analyze and dissect those tweets, and then also seeing like what it reflects about you potentially.
That would go hard, I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, this is such a good idea. I sure hope I remember to use it in like 7 years.
7 years.
But yeah, so Fiore, was there anything like about this first segment specifically that you wanted to bring up and talk about or ask us about? Because in terms of notes, I kind of don't really have anything else about this first segment because a lot of my notes
The
revolved
main
around
thing I
combat.
probably want to talk about is that one weird puzzle in the middle of Autumn's Rise.
With the 6 things into the triangle that you gotta
The
hit.
one that's like has like no, it's one that's particularly difficult to reach.
Oh, the chest?
Oh, the chest with the guy.
I think so. It's the one with several pegs,
Yeah, that one.
and
Yeah,
it's like on this a different platform.
I bet you can make the jump with a super
That
dash, I'm
always
not gonna
takes me
lie.
like half an hour to do.
It
So
took me like
weird.
15 minutes, or like 10 minutes.
that one took me like judging by from the time I noticed the chest to the time collecting it, it probably took me over an hour. Because I talked to the guy and then I was like, okay, I'll worry about that chest later. And then I went to go do other chests and then I was like, okay, I'll go do that one now. And I just forgot what the guy said and I was being stubborn about it because I was like, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure he said go up here and then do this and then I'll get to it. And so there
She's
was like,
seen some things.
and then so like it was like 20 minutes of trying to do that and I was like, okay, fine, I'll talk to the NPC again. And then even that wasn't enough for me to really figure it out at that point. I took a while to do that. But I guess from the time I like talked to him the second time and then did it, it probably took me around 20 minutes to figure out how to get it. It is a weird chest.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, there are still some
Probably some
chests.
of the other things.
Sorry, go on.
There's Have any of you like explored like the full map of Autumn's Rise yet? Because there's this sort of like ocean cave, and it
Oh,
has, I
that place.
believe, a special item inside of it.
You can only get it from one side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. I don't remember what the item was, but I did that. What was the item? Do you remember?
Mm, I remember it being a relatively important item for later. I think it either unlocks like immensely strong equipment, or it's a particularly important quest item.
It's the cum file.
You can't say those things. I'm kidding.
I can say those things. I can say those things.
Mm,
I don't think Fiora will be very happy with you if you do.
You know how to control me.
Yeah, I did that. I'm pretty sure I explored the full map of Autumn's Rise, though. I mean, maybe there are some areas that I wasn't able to get to, and that's why I'm still missing chests there. But I was pretty sure that the chests I was missing were actually just in areas that I had been to, and I just didn't know how to get to the chests specifically. Because I'm missing like two, three, maybe? Three chests? Somewhere around that.
Skill issue.
Anyway, some of those chests are annoying as fuck.
Yeah. There are some annoying as hell chests in here. They get more annoying later on.
That's so cool. What annoyed me was that some of the chests were really really annoying, and they were just like seasoned apples, and I'm like, what the fuck? Give me something worth my time, like an assault vest or a life orb. Is there a life orb?
Yeah.
Fiora, is she lying to me?
I didn't process what she said.
Is there a life orb
Crap.
in this game? And I said yeah.
Yes, I think.
Wow, gaming. It'd be really funny if like the end game here is that I'm just playing the game and discovering like every fucking Pokemon item, competitive Pokemon item exists. My end game build is fucking
I'm sorry, there are no leftovers.
choice specs. Ah, fuck, no leftovers? Okay, killing myself.
Also, I was lying. There's no life orb.
Yeah,
Wow,
I'm afraid the best item is not in the game.
this is so crazy how both of you would just lie to me like that.
There was a spooky plate though.
Being friends with people used to mean something.
I'm kidding. There's not a spooky plate.
I hate you.
Hmm.
Alright,
There was the black glasses, and you could put on your character, and she actually has sunglasses on.
I don't believe you.
Good, because that was also a lie.
Why are you doing this? This is more aggressive lying and gaslighting than even I planned to do with HPMOR, and that one's a mystery. That one, it's like it makes sense for me to just lie. You're just saying shit.
CrossCode's a mystery.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a thing that you discover like about 60% of the way through the story that changes the entire framework through which you view the world.
Wow.
Can you figure out what it is?
Is it all a dream?
Yes.
That's crazy.
But I'm serious though. There is
No
like
asterisk, I believe.
I don't want to actually know, for the record.
But like it is a mystery. Or I'll agree it the same way.
Okay, well, fine, I guess. I guess your mischievous acts are somewhat justified in that case. All right, well, yeah, like I said, I don't have anything else about this segment of CrossCode. I just am excited to keep playing. I'm
Mhm.
excited to keep playing. I'm not
Mhm.
going to yet because I have to read the next two chapters of Garden of Words and then probably start on Lisa at some point after that. But I am excited to play more CrossCode and finally make progress because like I said, I have like 8.5 hours of playtime and all of that has just been in 1.5 areas.
Mhm.
I still have to catch up with like all of the things I've been missing.
The
Oh
next
yeah.
segment the next segment is up to
I
the
will
next
be
stream,
on
right?
that tomorrow.
You said what?
Fiora is the next segment up to the next stream. Because I remember that like working last time. Or like for whatever.
It says Apollo 1 to Bergen Village.
Oh, Bergen Village. All right, that's fair.
Yeah. It's so
I
funny.
still don't know what the next Lisa segment is. I gotta figure that out.
You have some time. You have
Hmm.
until like Sunday. Then yeah, I also don't know the
Oh
next.
yeah, if you do get to Bergen Village, you should probably do most of the quest line um before getting to Bergen Dungeon.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
was
think it will be a bit too short if it's just Bergen Trail.
Hmm.
this says Bergen Village and then you have in parentheses SQ. What does that mean?
Side quest chapter, as in you can, as in that's like a pretty short chapter, so you can do a bunch of side questing.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, that's what I was probably gonna. That's what I was gonna do for sure. Anyway, I'm just gonna get through the segments and then do everything I can in that segment.
Hmm.
Yeah, I also don't know what the next segment of HPMOR is, but that's because none of you have finished reading it, and so I don't know how long it took you guys to read it.
Right.
So once I have that info, I will figure out what the next segment should be. I'm so excited to talk about it. Just the fact that Anaconda was reading it, or Robert was reading it, and he's just like, Harry's a fucking nerd. And I've said that exactly in my notes. I was like, this is gonna be fun. All right, well then that will be all from us on CrossCode so far. Kind of a
Hmm.
shorter episode, but it was kind of a short segment that we did, and it's an intro segment, so not a lot was going on. Um, I guess main takeaways are just that combat is super cool, and if you have good gameplay, then I will like it.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, next episode will be recorded in a few days. We'll be talking about chapters 1 through 6 of HPMOR, Harry Potter and the Message of Rationality, which is the thing that I asked everyone to read. The next time we talk about CrossCode will be in about 2 weeks. No, about a week. Um, about a week from now, a week and a half. And from there, we will be doing uh, everything until we get to Bergen Village from the point that we just stopped at. So,
Oh wait, there's this one thing that like I forgot to talk about. That was the fucking when Sergey is talking to Leah after the Rhombus dungeon, like there's definitely like something different about her as a player, which I think is very interesting. And he literally tells her that he literally says the line, "It is absolutely essential that you pass as a regular player," and that
right.
reminded me of
Oh my fucking god!
yeah.
I never even noticed.
For queer people, passing as a reality, much as it is a reality for AI, passing as human isn't a broad and inclusive in category anything but. For women, there's already the notion of
Minus
alienness
12
or
months
otherness
e trans girl on the internet.
So
that
what
makes them out to be
so,
less than human beings.
so what you're saying is that Leia is an AI and her passing is an allegory for being trans.
Oh, come on, don't make Leah more gender goals than she already is.
These artificial goals.
There are many reasons to
Mhm.
have this desire, but the biggest one, the one that AI and trans women both share to a very literal degree, is this. If an emerging AI lies to you, even just a little, it has to be terminated instantly. If a transitioning woman lies to a cis person, even a little, she has to be terminated instantly. And this is something that is codified in law, famously, as trans panic. For AI and trans women, passing equals survivability.
Incredible. All right, I think we're ending on that then.
Mhm.
Someone's calling me. Yeah, end the episode.
Yeah. All right, bye everyone. See you next time.